Hey there, good Sunday morning and welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock, hard rock, heavy metal, and other forms of rock music. However, today we are doing music other than rock, which is what we do on Sunday mornings now. So every Sunday morning I will be doing a show about music other than rock music. Now, it's been my opinion over the years that most people who like rock music, they love it. And most people who like music in general like other forms of music too. So I've discovered that most rock people who listen to some form of rock music generally like some other style of music as well. It's not just we. I guess it's, in my case, I can only speak for myself, of course, is that I listen to a lot of rock music all the time. All my playlists are pretty much rock. But I do, once in a while, feel like something other than rock music, and I might even go through a period for a couple days where I'm listening to something different that's not really rock music. And some of this music, rock people won't like because you're not into it for whatever reason. You may like some parts of it, you may not like other parts of it, but we all like rock music and some forms of rock music. But we all have other things we like. Now, I like quite a bit of different stuff. Not so much the stuff that everybody's listening to as much as I've only just recently started to get into jazz fusion. I've only recently started listening to more jazz together. A lot of the bluesy stuff and gospel stuff and soul stuff from the past I wasn't really into until I started doing my series on rock greats who thrilled us but since have passed on. But on this show, because I do rock music all the time, I wanted to do something so I could talk about some of these other musical interests that I have. And if you look up there at the top, you'll see the white thing has a fair bit of stuff on it. That's my non-rock section of the galaxy, so to speak. On this show we'll be doing stuff like, what type of music, you say, other than rock are you talking about? Okay, so I like big band music. I like swing music. I like the crooners. Who are the crooners? Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby, Tony Bennett, Dean Martin, Nat King Cole, those type of people. I like some of the stuff from the early 40s, like the Andrews Sisters. I also like some jazz music, like Ella Fitzgerald, although she's more associated with the big band music. That kind of stuff, the real bluesy stuff, like Big Mama Thornton and that. So what we're going to do on this show, we're not going to talk about any specific albums because, to be honest, albums are not really a big kind of center of stage for a lot of these types of music genre. It is with rock albums because that seems to be when the album kind of took over from the song and the single. But there are collections. There's a lot more collections in the other genres, and not saying that there isn't a lot of collections in the rock genre, but people tend to focus on more particular album that came out, a studio album or a live album, as much on the compilations. People want to collect all of them, right? So for today we're going to be talking about that type of thing. So what I'll be doing here is be talking about the artists, and I may use some props, maybe pictures, maybe their own compilation albums, and I've got 3 of them for the particular artist we'll be doing today. And just talk about the music that this person makes and why it's so good and what I like about it and why I like them and how long I've been listening to it and that kind of thing. So this is just more about talking about the artist, this particular episode, this particular show that we'll be doing. So today is the inaugural Music Other Than Rock show, which comes out Sunday morning, fairly early, around 8 a.m. I like to get it out early because I have other things I have to do, and I'm just happy to get it going. Now, this actual episode is filmed on Saturday night because tomorrow I won't be home, so I wanted to get it on the air and out there before I left in the morning. Okay, so we're talking about one of my favorite artists. Rock or not rock, he's up there among my favorite singers of all time. And we're talking about Nat King Cole, the legendary Nat King Cole. I've got 3 collections here for him. I'll talk about them at some point too. So Nat King Cole was an artist who grew up during that period of who became a musician or started singing during that era of big band crooners, and he was one of the best, I think. I don't know if he was the best. I mean, many consider Frank Sinatra to be that role. I'm not going to deny them that. I mean, Frank had a huge impact on that type of music. But for me, it was always Nat King Cole. And so what is it about Nat King Cole that I like so much? Well, the guy has one of the smoothest voices I've ever heard. It's like silk. It just flows from him, and the way he sings, his whole style of singing is just so smooth and comfortable. And he sang some of the greatest love songs too, and just the way he put them out there, they touch. And as some of you have noticed, the picture back here of Grace Kelly and the one on my wall of Audrey Hepburn, I was a huge fan of that era, the 40s and the 50s. And the music went with that era, the Bing Crosby, the Frank Sinatra, and the Nat King Cole. And Nat King Cole was biggest in my mind. Him and Audrey are probably my 2 favorite people from that period, although I love Grace Kelly. She is just the most beautiful person I think who's ever lived. I just love her. But anyways, we're not here to talk about movies and stuff like that. We're here to talk about Nat King Cole. So Nat King Cole was a smooth singer. He put out a lot of songs, a lot of collections. He had such a stylish voice. I can always tell immediately when I start listening to something and it's that kind of music, the crooning music as they call it. I always know right away that it's him, because nobody is that smooth. So I took out 2 or 3 collectional albums here that I have. Now, the one that I originally had was Nat King Cole's Golden Oldies. It was a blue cassette that I had, and I think I have it somewhere around the house, but I don't know where it is. But I started collecting CDs, and a lot of that stuff has been filed away. But I recently got 2 new ones. This one, a collection from the series Nat King Cole. Nice picture of him there. Really smooth album. Lots of his good stuff. And like some of his best stuff, I'm just going to read a little bit of it off. Not too much of it, but a little bit. Oh, sorry. That's funny. The cover is upside down. Actually, no, that's the way the cover goes. You can't put it any other way. But the back of the album, I guess I'll have to take that back part off and reorganize it because it's facing completely the other way. Anyways, on this album, Straight Up and Fly Right, great tune. For Sentimental Reasons, one of the smoothest songs. Mona Lisa, which is a song I've long sang. I was married to Elisa once upon a time, and this song was always the one that she wanted me to sing to her, so I did. Unforgettable, of course, maybe his greatest hit. Ramblin Rose, really smooth song. Like just some really great stuff on here. Now, this one I got at the same time, 20 Greatest Hits. This one has, I believe, they both have 20 hits on it. About half of the songs, maybe not quite half, maybe 7 or 8 of the tunes that are on the first one I showed you are also on this one. This has a total playing time, it doesn't say, but this one has a total playing time of about 62 minutes, so about an hour's worth of Nat King Cole. That's really good. It's got pretty much a lot of the same stuff, but it does have a few that I really like on here that aren't on that one. Sweet Lorraine. Oh, I love that. I love his among my favorite songs by him are songs where he has a woman's name in it, and that's one of them. Ramblin Rose, another great one. Where is it? I seen it here. You know, and it's got both of them have straight up and fly right. It's on number one on both tracks. Still like some nice shots of them too on the piano. Now I don't know if, perhaps I'm wrong here, but I do not think that Nat King Cole played the piano, but possibly he does. I could stand corrected here if anybody wants to correct me. I guess I could go look it up, but you know, I don't like to look up everything. You know, it'd be nice if some things just people would tell me, or I would just figure it out. Yeah, so a nice little booklet in this one too. Anyways, both discs are in really good shape. And are nice, easy listening to music if you just feel like you're feeling in a romantic mood and you feel like listening to something, or you want to throw something on while you're having a conversation with a friend that's not too, I don't like elevator music, let's put it that way. I don't like background stuff that's just on there just to kill the noise background. I like stuff that, you know, makes people kind of upbeat, and I think Nat King Cole is one of those people, man, for me. Just love him. He's probably 1-2 with Ronnie James Dio for my favorite singers of all time. I can't think of anybody who I like more than those two. Ronnie for rock music and him for not rock music. So there you go. Now I also have this particular disc that I got a while back. It's only got 19 songs on it, but mostly all this is Christmas stuff from him, and he knows how to sing Christmas songs really good too. You know, that Christmassy season comes around, you feel like playing some Christmas music. And a lot of these groups and a lot of musicians in general have a Christmas album. But this guy is the best, you know. Maybe Bing Crosby might be better at the Christmas stuff, I think. Deck the Halls, the Christmas song, Little Town of Bethlehem, Oh Holy Night. Like, it just... where's the other one that I really like? Oh yeah, there's First Noel, really good. Like just like a real Christmassy feel to it. Nat King Cole's Christmas song. I try to collect Nat King Cole wherever I see him. I just can't get enough, you know. This album is not the greatest condition, but it's not a bad condition. It's not terrible condition, but like some really... You know, just about an hour's worth of music. And I don't listen to Nat as much as I used to, but every once in a while I'm reading or something and I just want something to kind of lift me up, or I'm talking with a friend and I just want something to lift me up. I always put the Nat King Cole stuff on. So Nat King Cole pretty much for most people was 50s and 60s. Late 50s and 60s. He died some time ago. And you know, his daughter sings too. I have some of her stuff too, but I like her, but I don't think she's in the same kind of... I don't like her in the same kind of vein as Nat. So, you know, I went through a period of time too where I didn't listen to rock music at all. You know, that went... basically my time frame was I listened to Kiss, and then I got out of Kiss and started exploring rock music, and I went all over the place listening to just about everything, and that went on for about maybe 5 or 6 years where I was listening to everything I could get my hands on or I could afford to buy. And then I went through a period where I started getting disillusioned because a lot of the bands that I liked started playing a real poppy style of music that I didn't like. So that disillusioned me, and so I started moving into a different genre of music. I started drifting more towards rhythm and blues music, listening to Stevie Ray Vaughan and Jimi Hendrix and bands of that note, and some rockabilly stuff as well. And then around the end of the end of that era, around the end of the 80s, I started listening to this crooning stuff. That's when it came for me. That's when I think that's when somebody bought me that Nat King Cole thing, and that's what started it. And then I was given a Bing Crosby one, and I really liked that a lot too. And so I started listening to a lot of this stuff. And so I would say from about 1990 right through to probably mid 90s to mid to late 90s, just before my wife came along. And so I had about 5 or 6 years there where I was listening to this music a lot. A lot of it inspired from a girlfriend I had in the late 80s, who liked vocal music a lot. Now, when I say vocal, I'm talking about the nylons and some of that 50s style music, or rock, or what they call what was the name of that movie? The one with I can't even think of her name either. Anyways, it was that kind of doo-wop type music, and then there was a lot of vocal music as well. And so she got me into that, and then from that it became easier to get into this, and so that's where it developed for me, and it went through its renaissance period in the late part of the century, and then now it's kind of a steady flow for me. It sent me in other directions too. I started listening to some of the stuff around the Andrews Sisters time, which is a little bit older than this, and but I enjoy that quite a bit. Rockapella, that was the type of music that she liked to listen to, and I guess the Andrews Sisters fall into the Rockapella era as well. So anyways, that got me into Nat King Cole, and now I'm open to a lot of different types of music. Since I started this channel, I've started looking and listening to more and more stuff, not just rock, but like this as well. But I also got into a lot of rock bands that I knew about but never really got into for whatever reason, and then a lot of stuff I never knew about that I'm still getting into now too. So that's what music's about. The more you listen to it, the more you talk about it, and the more you do this kind of thing, the more interest you get in different stuff that you probably didn't listen to before. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this inaugural episode of other things other than rock, which will come out, like I said, every Sunday morning at 8. For those of you who want a break from just rock music, or for those of you who like music but aren't big fans of rock, I don't really understand that, but that's fine. There's plenty of them out there. The only thing you won't get on this channel is probably country western. My parents were big on that, and I just never want to hear it. Rap music, I didn't think I would ever get into rap music, and possibly I never will. I don't know. There are some rap artists that I don't mind though. Conway West, I mean, as crazy as he is, I still like some of his stuff. There's a few others too, and my daughter has a friend or two that like to sing and are rappers as well, and a couple of the songs I've heard her playing and I've started listening to, but I don't tell her that. But anyways, I'm not sure you'll ever see a rap episode here, so I wouldn't concern myself too much with it, nor will you likely see a country western, but you will be seeing more of the type of thing I did today. Another person I've really gotten into a lot is Ella Fitzgerald, and I bring her up because she probably will be next Sunday's featured episode on Ella Fitzgerald, who just has for female, she is right there at the top. Got to be close to be one of my favorite female singers. Rihanna, yes, her, Ann Wilson. Those are the ones that I think of that are big for me, big influences for me. And I also like Beyonce too. She has a tremendous voice as well. So, will we do any pop on this show? It's possible to happen. There are some pop artists that I like. There's even a disco artist or two that I don't mind. The one that comes to mind, of course, is ABBA. I like ABBA stuff. It's not something I listen to much, though. I have my period of time and certain circumstances where I'll listen to that. Whether we get an episode on them, I don't know. We're going to get episodes on Ella Fitzgerald for sure, and that'll be next week. So I hope you enjoyed this inaugural show, the first one of its kind. Let me know what you think. Is there somebody that maybe I'm not thinking of, or some style of music that possibly I might consider? Will we do anything on classical music? That I'm not sure yet. Because the problem with classical music is I'm a drummer by nature, but I tend to like vocalists and vocal music more than I do just instrumental. I'm not saying that I don't like instrumental, I do, but I tend to lean that way. So I don't listen to a lot of just pure instrumental, and that's unfortunately is what classical music is pretty much. We may get some reggae stuff on here. We may actually get some calypso, maybe some of that type of music. That's possible. I haven't given that much consideration at this point in time. But for today, it was Nat King Cole, legendary crooner and smoothie. So I hope you enjoyed the inaugural episode of this, and if you did, please like and subscribe. Tell me what kind of stuff you like as well. I'm always open to hearing new stuff. So have a good day. For Prog Monster, out. Bye.